Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Gloria, and yeah, we're back once again for the SSS conversation as promised. And this week, we will be speaking on fundraising strategies for early startup. Today, we have an amazing speaker who's going to be giving us insider tips, as he's also a founder, and he's going to be walking us through those strategies that we need to apply or that we can apply as early startup founders or aspiring founders. So, without wasting too much time, I'm just going to bring Mohammed to the stage, and he will do us the honor of introducing himself to the house. I know him personally, but I mean, I don't want to take his shine. So he's probably just introduce himself. Hi, Mohammed. Good afternoon.
Hello everyone. Hi Gloria. Good afternoon. Good afternoon
Hi.
everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mohammed Sanusi and I'm the founder and CEO of Upward Echo Limited. So basically
It's
Upward Echo Limited is a waste management organization here in Abuja. We are just in
mhm.
we just got into 1 year and the journey to second year is in progress. So yes, thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. It's always a pleasure talking to you. We have had this conversation. We have had a conversation before. So people, in case you're wondering why I say I know him from somewhere, yeah, we have had a conversation before in the community. But this time around, we're bringing it on air so that the rest of our outsider community will be able to hear also from him. Um, so today we're talking about fundraising strategies for early startup. If you don't mind me asking, Mohammed, how old is your startup, this Upward Co Limited? How old is it?
Well, Upward Echo Limited is barely 2 years old. We are we are
Um,
practically 15 months old.
wow, that's nice. 15 months old for a business is a long time, but well done. Kudos to you.
Yeah,
It's
thank
still,
you.
yeah.
Mhm.
So fundraising, I mean, I think fundraising strategies is not just for startup, it's like for any and every business, right? Anybody that's looking to get into the world of starting something on their own, they start thinking about the investors that they need to reach out, the VCs, and all of the many ways they can get funds to invest into the business. So I think this conversation is going to be very, very helpful for a lot of people. Some of us who are looking to be a founder, some of us who are already founders and are trying to navigate through this. So, which brings me to my first question, which is going to be, what do you think a startup should begin? I mean, when do you think a startup should begin looking for investors, and what key indicator signals that is the right time? Like, at what time or at what point in time do you think a startup can say, okay, I think I should start looking for investors, like we are strong enough to get to that point?
Hmm. Well, that's a very tricky one. But of course, the issue of fundraising, for me personally, I always categorize it into two. There
Mm,
is the primary fund and there is the secondary funds. And
okay.
for primary funds, specifically me, I look at it as the funds that you need to actually set up the business and get the business going. While the
Mm,
secondary fund is the funds that is needed to scale the success of your primary fund. So I'll give you an example. You
okay.
just have an idea, right? You have an idea. I want to do this. Let's say I want to go into fashion, or I want to just any business that you can think of. It's just an idea. You need some basic funds, like the one that can
Yeah.
come from your pocket, or the one that can come from your friends and family, or just someone that can just look at you and say, oh, these are some of the primary funds. And very, very importantly, one
Mm,
of the primary funds that even up till now, we at Upward Echo, we are looking at even getting better at that is the funds that come in from your own customer, the people you are solving this problem for, the funds that come in from them, these are primary funds. So these
Mm,
are the first thing that you need to look out for and start generating. Then it is only, for me personally, I'm not saying generally now, right? It's only when you are able to attain that level of success that you can begin to call for, okay, this is the right time to go in for those type of funding that you keep hearing, like the angel investor, the grants, or the loan, or any other facility that is out there. But most importantly, you need a
mm,
fund that should be able to help you to be comfortable. Let's say it is only you who is running your business. You need that fund that can be able to say, from now till next 6 months, if I continue running this business at this scale, I'm not going to close the shop. And the best of the
mm,
funds that can keep that running is the funds that come directly from the customers, right? But before you
mm,
can even
mm,
sell anything to the customer, you need some little investment. Of course, the little here can be $1 million. It can be 10,000 naira. It depends on the capacity of that idea that you have. But once you have
mm,
that, you invest from your own pocket, which is what my mentor always advised. If you don't commit from your pocket, it means you are not. I'm not sure if you are really ready for that venture to even come alive. Then from
yeah.
there, if you know you attain that success, okay, yes, we can now pay our salary from our revenue, right? Then you can now think, oh, when you can now think of, let's grow. It is when you now think of that growth, that's when you can think of going for maybe raising some funds, before you look at all those options that you have. I don't know if that
Mm.
helps.
Yeah, actually, it's very clear. I mean, it's advisable not to start off a business with a loan when you don't even know how far you're going to scale it to. So really, it helps for it gives a lot of clarity to the question. I think most people, not just for startups, for any business, if you're looking to start a business, make sure that you have at least a reasonable amount of money that's coming from you that can scale it to a particular point where the investors too, when you meet them, they'll be encouraged to know that okay, it's something that you have put in the work for before coming to look for an investor. So yeah, it does help. Thank you very much, Mohammed. So talking about getting to a particular point before meeting the investor or approaching them, what are the necessary steps that one can take when you are getting like okay, I've gotten to the point where I'm deciding I want to invest. I want an investor to partner with or somebody to get like give a particular amount of shares for something in the company. What exactly should I be ready for? How should I prepare to get to meet these people? Like, are they documentations I need to do, and what steps are they to these things?
Well, thank you for that question again. Just like as I said earlier, um, going to raise funding is a very tricky one, and at the same time is a very tedious activity. In short, most organizations and most people in that part of running a business, they will always recommend that get someone is like a full-time job. You need to set up a team for fundraising, right?
Mm,
Because it's not child's play. But of course, for kids like us who are still trying to get into the business clients, the things that you need, it can be as simple as even getting your business registered with CAC if you're in Nigeria, or any relevant organization within your country. From there,
mm,
at least any potential investor, even if it's an angel investor, or even if it's just for a grant or something, they'll know, oh, at least this person is a little bit trying to get serious. At
mm,
that kind of investment, you don't go and tell an investor that I need your money to go and register with the CAC. It doesn't make sense, right? Then
yeah.
imagine you telling a potential investor that I've been in this business for 2 years or 1 year or 6 months, and they're asking you, what is your monthly revenue or monthly turnover, and you don't have
Mm,
that numbers either on your head, or
On
documented
paper.
somewhere, right?
Mm,
These are some of the things. They might be very insignificant to you, but those are some of the things that are very important to the investors. You don't have your books. In terms of books, I'm talking about the accounting is not up to date. You are not even captured in the tax what's the name now, with the tax
mm,
office. These are the things that
mm,
investors are very very keen with, because they don't want their money to be in your hand, and at the same time you are going to have legal battle with the government that you have not paid tax since about 5 years. Meanwhile, you told the investor that your business is just 1 year old,
mm,
right? These are the things that is very very
mm,
important for you. Then another very important aspect is, yes, if you are going to work with people, right? The process itself. What is the process? Do you have documentation for your processes? These are
mm,
very insignificant, especially for us in this part of the world. But believe you me, it has two advantages. Number one, it helps you as an individual managing the business to ease your work. And secondly, it also shows your professionalism with the potential investor. So for me, I think these are just three things I've mentioned, right? Like
mm.
getting your complete documentation with the appropriate authorities,
About it, yeah.
identifying with the bodies like the CAC, the if you are in our industry like the associations like RAN, Waste Speakers Association, and so on and so forth. Then secondly, getting your books. We are talking about your accounting documentation, your bank statement. Like if you imagine you running a business and you don't have a corporate account, it's not just about your your people or your customers paying you. They know you individually. They can actually send
Yeah.
money to your account and send, because of course, just within 6 months to 1 year of running your business, there is a high percentage assurance that most of your customers, they are within your network, so they
No, your
already know you
person,
even
yeah.
before the business. So that is
Mm,
not it. But having a corporate account, it helps you to be able to say, oh, how much revenue have I been able to generate this month? Even if you
mm-hmm,
miss any of those documentation, by going back to generate your bank statement, right? You already know your revenue, you know your turnover.
mm,
Do it for 6 months. These things is already kept for you, right? Those are some of the advantages. And thirdly, documentation within
mm,
your processes. Like if you are having a co-founder, what is your agreement? You are having your team, you are building a team in terms of your what's the name, your staffs. What are the contracts you are giving them? Are they full time? Are they part time? Are they contracts? Things like this. Even if you don't have a HR, of course, thank God right now there are many tools that you can just subscribe to, and they help your processes better for you. So I think those three things, if you look at
yeah.
that area, it should prepare you to meet any investors for a start. Not all, just some basics one to give you maybe the few thousands or hundreds of thousands that you need to get started.
Yeah. Absolutely. I actually totally agree with what you said. I know many people who are like early business entrepreneurs, as they call themselves. They tend to I have a personal account. There's no need for me to create a corporate account. See the accounting part, most people fall into the trap of, oh, let me just use my personal account. There's no need for me to be queuing the bank and everything. It really will not matter. But it does matter. It would have a very major impact on the way you actually assess your funds, to see what you are spending, what you are earning, and to know if this business is actually making profit. So yeah, thank you very much for that. That's very good points that you made. Um, so mention, mentioning that as one of like the common mistakes that people do, like businesses when they're trying to start with their process, they feel like because it's a startup, I don't necessarily need to do too much. You just take the step gradually. So, what are like the most common mistakes or pitfalls that you think during the process of like early startup stage for these businesses? What are the common mistakes that they do when they are trying to, raise funds for their business?
Hmm. Well, from the top of the mind, one of the most common mistake I think that most businesses do is not even knowing exactly. what fund they should be raising at any point in time. That's
Mm.
one of the most common one. So there are many funds that is flying around, but which one are you supposed to be raising? And before you can even
Mm.
answer that question and be comfortable with your responses, what do you need
Mm-hmm.
right now? Like, what do you need? Because there are some people, they are just, for me, I believe they are just in the fundraising game just to follow the crowd, right? You want to submit an application for a $1 million grant, and you're not even looking at the criteria. And even if you look at the criteria, you already know, yeah, 50% of this criteria, I am not qualified. But guess what? Some people will
Anything
still go ahead and fill the application,
apply.
right? So do you really need this? Do you have
Yeah.
the capacity to if this fund, let's say miraculously, the fund drops in, do you have the capacity to use that now? These are some of the real questions you need to ask
Mm.
yourself. So if I am to give some of the main mistakes that I think some founders have, the common ones are not knowing the exact not knowing the exact stage that they are and what they need to go to the next stage, right? Is one of the mistakes. They don't do that analysis to know, oh, okay, this is what I need now. Then
Mm.
another one is following the crowd. Every application that is open, we are there. Today you are looking for loan, tomorrow you are looking for grant, next tomorrow you are looking for angel investor. Come on, my friend, find focus, right? It's very important you
Mm.
find focus. So there are some time that you need a threshold of what you need now. If you have a plan where you are going, if you are the type that is looking at, okay, at a later stage I need to get listed on a stock exchange, go for my IPO and whatever, you need to know the stage that you have to follow one after the other. And another one that
Mm.
I think is very important again is knowing that this work is needed to be done by you. So what I mean
Mm.
by that is some people they believe, yes, I want to go for fundraising, but I can just get someone to do it for me. No, you can't get someone to do it for you. You can get someone to do it with you, not for you. Because while even
Okay.
filling that application itself, right, there are some key ingredient that only you is able to know because you have the up-to-date information about your organization. So
Yeah.
you don't just say, oh, I have contracted it to this agent or to this business, this organization, or this consultant, or this whatever it is that you have contracted, and you go and sit down and do it. No, it has to. You don't make that mistake. They'll end up filing it. In short, some radical ones will use their information to file it, and when it eventually drops in, you'll be the one looking for them that, oh yeah, come and send me the money, right? So I think these are just the two that can come off my head now, but of course there are many out there that we can look out for.
Um, I actually just got to understand this. I'm not very conversant with like fundraising processes and all because I've not really tried to look for an investor. But I think with this, I already know now that these are some things I should not do, which are like very, very important. Most people believe that if they are professionals to do this thing, why am I stressing myself? We are in a very these days people tend to be more lazier than they used to be. So because there's a company or there's a tool for everything now, we tend to want to leave the responsibilities of that's originally supposed to be ours to tools and other people without really taking those responsibility. And then we miss the step, we miss the process, we miss the experience of the entire journey that was supposed to give us in the first place. So thank you very much for that answer, Mohammed. So my next question would be: you mentioned something about focus when you were talking that most people today you're doing angel investor, next tomorrow you're like loan, and the next time you're like grants. How do we determine, like for businesses, how do they come to the conclusion that okay, this is exactly the kind of investment that I need for my business at this point? Is there a process? Is there a step? Is there like a way they can know and say, okay, I'm sticking to angel investors, or no, let me just do loans, or let me just find grants and stuff like that?
Well, I know if you go online or go even AI and what have you, they can give you many steps out there. You will see different models and all what that is needed to be shared. But of course,
Mm,
for me, I always like to take it to the basics. My business
mm,
is unique. So is your business. I
yeah.
know my unique need. You know your unique need. But generally
Mm-hmm.
speaking, every business has stages. There is the time to ideate the business. There is a time to bring it to life. There is a time to develop whatever you are doing. Then there is a time to scale. Okay.
Mm,
So
mm-hmm.
when you know you are in an idea stage, it's now left to you to look at, okay, how much do I need for this idea to come to life? Then you ask yourself, how much do I have in my pockets? If, for example, you have your business need 1 million naira to come to life, your idea, just for your idea to come to life, maybe you need 1 million naira, and you look at your pocket, you see, oh, I have 200,000 naira. Okay, that
Mm,
means you need 800,000 naira to even bring this business to life. So what is the next thing? You ask yourself, do I really want to bring this business to life? If it is yes,
mm,
then you need to ask yourself that question. How do I raise this 800,000?
800,000.
Right? So you can now
Yeah.
begin to ask, oh, you have options. Yeah, you value this your idea at 1 million naira. You already have 800,000 naira deficit to block. So you tell you can get to your friends, family, or anybody who is interested to listen to you. I need
Mm,
800,000 to get me to this stage. It now comes to the negotiation. How do you want to pay me back? Is it a loan
mm,
you are going to add interest? Is it just take it and give me back my 800,000? Or no, take it, give me 10% of your shares, right? Or just I dash you
yeah.
like angel, like some grants and what have you. So it depends on where you are and where you need to be, that
Mm,
determines what you need. And once you have what you need, you start asking the right questions. Every other one can work at every stage. The most important thing is clarity. You need to be clear on exactly where you are headed. With that, you can communicate. You can meet, in short, I can just meet you now, Gloria, and say, hey, I need a million naira. The next question you ask me is, what for? Because nobody will just carry their money and throw it away
and
something.
give
So I will have
me,
to
yeah.
convince you. So
Mm-hmm.
is the what for is to convince you to even want to let your money go, right?
Yeah.
The moment I give you that conviction, the next question you ask is, what is in it for me? So it comes to
Yes,
another level of
actually.
conversation. So that's when we now start saying, oh, I'll give it back to you because we have been friends for 1 million years. You can leave it for me for
Mm,
how many years, months, and I'll bring it back. Fine. Or you say, no, I need a percentage when you are returning it because you are using it for business. Or no, I love your idea. I'm investing this and you are going to give me share capital. Or I want to be a co-founder. There are lots of ways that you
mm,
can go out by getting your returns. But the most important
yeah.
thing, just as I've said, is number one, know what you need that will take you to where you want to be. Then be ready to do some trades, which is checks and balances, as we call it within my
Yeah.
region here. You have to be able to do some checks and balances. What are you willing to let go? What
Mm,
how desperate are you willing to get that idea to life? It
okay.
will now tell the investor on how they want to push you up and down. So I hope that helps.
Mm. Yeah, it does. It does. Talking about desperate, most people are very desperate of bringing their idea to life because they feel like this idea is going to be my big break, or probably, oh, is the passion that drives me. I want to solve this solution and stuff like that. So when they meet this investor, they tend to not know where to strike a balance and how far to get to this negotiation. Like, so talking about this now on negotiation strategy, right? Say we have the opportunity to speak to this investor, they are willing to hear us. We have a pitch and time and everything. How can founders effectively negotiate the terms of an investment? Like, what are the key things that they should be cautious about when they are in talks with these investors?
Well, I think that's a very wonderful question. Like, is for me, it's very special because it's something that we've been learning for over, I think, 3 years now till date.
Um,
And believe you me, I've not even started learning, knowing what to actually check and balance during negotiation. But maybe I'll just share
mm,
some of my experience
experience.
building upward. Okay. Uh,
Okay.
I think we're within 2022, we won a grant of $4,000, right?
Wow.
In sorry, that's 2023. Yeah, 2024 we got
Okay.
another $5,000,
That's
and
good.
2024, 2025 now we are already looking at getting something more, and this is what people hear, and it's looking so sweet, right? Is it not? Is it not sweet? At least as I'm saying it, it's sweet for your hearing. So
Good
so
catch.
here is the things that you didn't know.
Mm,
The $4,000 that came in for the first of our it stemmed a grant. But what did we trade
mhm,
off? We trade off 20% of our shares for 4,000 US dollars.
mm,
So for any investor or for anybody who understands building a business, trading
mm,
20% of your shares for $4,000, like, yeah, it should be embarrassing. But believe you me, this is almost 24 months, right?
mm,
Here are some of the things that I've learned. I think personally that was a blessing because from my own part, I see it as, if you didn't get that, how would you even know that what you're spending from your pocket is worth it? Because it takes more than just, this is my idea, to get someone else to say, oh, I love this
mm.
idea, let me put my 1 naira. Because nobody on earth will just
Into it.
fold a currency note and throw it away. They believe it's going to bring something back. So that belief
Mhm,
alone was worth more than 20% of our shares, right?
mm,
So that is an example. Now, if you are going to have a negotiation, you need to know
mm,
how experienced are you in the industry. And when I say in
mm,
the industry, I mean in starting a business. If you are just starting a business for the first time, please don't even try to think of whether greedy or not greedy. Anybody, the
mm.
first person that is coming to give you that go ahead, give them the advantage so that you can learn from them. It's more like apprenticeship, if you know that one from
Mm.
my Igbo brothers, right? It's a way of doing business.
Yes.
Yes, it is an apprenticeship. That, in short, for that person giving you their money, it's
Mm,
like they even love you more than the idea. So what you should be looking out for is, what am I going to gain from this potential investor that is even beyond money, the non-monetary aspect. Is it
mm,
their network? Is it their specialty? Like, what exactly are you going to get? So, for example, right now, since we signed that deal, we've not paid a dime for any legal assistance. If
oh,
you know what it means, if you know what it means to get a legal professional to talk to you and help you look at your contracts, at least if it's your friend, they'll charge you like a 50K for any contract. But right now, just because they gave us 4,000 US
mm,
dollars and we say no, we don't want it, and this, for the past 2 years they've done more than, I think, as of my last count, more than 10 contracts for us. So this is a non-monetary
Value.
benefit that we get. Aside that,
Mm-hmm.
the consultation to seek clarity about your business. There is a difference between this is what I want to do and this is what I am doing, right? When you
Yeah.
have an idea, it's an idea that is sweetening just your brain and making those dopamine fly high in your brain, and you are happy. Wait until you test it to a potential client, right? You are
Yeah.
talking about someone giving you their money. Wait, let someone, maybe you are a tailor, right?
Mm.
And you say you are doing business and they're giving you money, you bought a machine and what. Then one person used 200K to buy, let's say, one, a lace or a very good shoulder, right? And they bring
Mm.
it to you to sew for them with their 200K investment, and they are paying you, maybe they are begging you to pay you 10K to sew that thing for them. Then you mistakenly go and use your noviceness or naivety to go and do a wrong style.
Mm.
Do you know they've committed their money and whatever? Do you know what it means? So you need another level of expertise to be able to give you that level of training.
Mm.
Now, these potential investors, what are they coming in with? So in summary, what I'm saying is look beyond the numbers. If
Mm.
what you are going to be benefiting, or the potential benefit of what is coming in, right, in terms of non-monetary, is far more better than what you are going to be trading in terms of your share capital, or they want to be director or on your board and what have you. Look, some of those things, they matter a lot, yes, but compare them to the
Mm.
potential benefits, you will know. So in summary, what I'm saying is, don't hold
Yeah.
on to 100%
Mm.
shares of a $1 million dollar business when you have the opportunity of having 80% shares of $1 billion. I think having
Business.
80% for me
Mm.
will make more sense than having 100% of something less valuable. So I don't know if that also helps, but
Yeah.
of course, that's the one I have to share for now.
Actually, it does. It absolutely answers the question because when we're going into fundraising, I think most people would have the question of how much of my business or how much of this negotiation do I need to trade off to get this in. So with this answer, I think we have been able to answer like a top burning question in the heart of many people who are looking to go into fundraising and the rest. So for the last question, because I think we have like exhausted our time a bit, but for the last question, just before you go, um, say I got this investment and like you mentioned, let me use a scenario. You give up 20% of the company and the investment is here. How do you keep your investors like post investment now? How do you keep them aligned to the company's growth? Like whatever it is that they're suggesting, because now they're like major shareholders in the company, whatever it is that they're suggesting, whatever parts that they need to play in the company, how do you make sure that you're doing that and they are aligned with the company's growth long term?
It's very simple. It starts during the negotiation table. You don't just come in
Mm,
and say you want a 20% of an organization that is about to start, and you expect to drop it and bring in your own. It doesn't work that way.
yeah.
So, what do I mean
Mm-hmm.
by that? It starts from the negotiation table. Okay, you want
Mm,
20%. Do you even understand this goal that we are here to achieve? If it's a yes, do you understand that this is our growth path? If it's a yes, do you understand that you don't
mm,
have to do this, do that, do that? If it's a yes, do you understand that this is what you have to be doing, this? These are stated in the MOUs, memorandum of understanding. So it's not about what
mm,
you benefit, it's about what are you bringing.
yeah.
For example,
Mm,
we don't just call for board meeting just for calling for board meeting, and we cannot call for board meeting and their representative is not present. We'll query them, because Calling board meeting is not because of we want to do it. It's because there's an
Yeah.
emergency. We are just starting. So if you're one of the terms and conditions is you must follow us to build this thing for you to be able to even say this is I have 20% or this is my business. We must build it together. So it boils down to the
Okay.
communication. You need them to be inside. Let's build it. It's not like you have invested and you are going to face another business. I'm not saying don't face another business. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying as you are investing, right, and you want to
Mm.
get the honey and the milk from this when it's matured enough. But please, it's a baby,
Mm.
and we just got pregnant for that baby. It takes an average of 9 months for this baby to get into this world. And guess
Mm.
what? Even after you bring this baby 9 months, we need to take care of that baby to in Nigeria for about 18 years before we
Mm.
call that baby an adult, right? So for you to start benefiting from adults of 18 years, you must have put in an average of 20 years. Do you see that? Do you see that concept? 20 years of input
5 years.
before you can
Uh,
start
so
milking from this baby.
yeah.
Does that
Yeah.
make any sense? So just get them in. Do you get me?
Yeah. It does. It does.
Okay. So just make sure during your MOU
Yeah. Yeah. I
stage,
do. I do.
please state it clearly. This is your input that I'm expecting, and this is where we are going. Do you understand? Yes. Do you have any issue? No. We sign the deal, then we roll into action. Of course, you put God in the mixture, and we'll be fine at the end of the day.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, it's a collaborative effort. It's not just give me your money and go and then you say, oh, I'm allowing my money to work for me. We are working with it together. So it has been a very insightful. Like personally, I've learned a lot of things, right, from this conversation, which I'm exceptionally grateful to you. So before we go for Upward Eco Limited, is there something that you're doing currently that you would want the public to know? That probably my question does not cover.
Well, for Upward Echo, 2025 is starting. Some people they say we're in month two, but for us, we still
Yeah,
believe we are still starting the year. We
yeah.
are currently uh, we've started engaging the people to be able to know their carbon footprint. It's a campaign we are running now. We want everyone to be able to even know what carbon footprint is about and how to do it to keep it down. So at Top of the Cool,
Mm,
we keep on urging people join our carbon footprint literacy drive. Of course, you can do that by simply registering on our platform on www.sendwaste.com. You register an account there, and from there, whenever we have those information, we host webinars, we share out. Even we have a waste train. If you are in Abuja, we are going to have our waste train in a location which is not disclosed yet in Abuja. Waste train here means we have we come to your location, all the recyclables that you have gathered, all those things that you don't need anymore that you want to trade it off, don't throw it off, just bring it, we'll buy it in as much as is within your location. We
mm,
do it at least one Saturday of every month. So this month we are going to do it in
mm,
the last Saturday of February. But the location is not disclosed yet. But of course, to keep in touch, just register an account on www.sendwaste.com. Once you register an account there,
mm.
we'll share all other information through the details you shared with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. I hope this was enjoyable for you as much as it was for me, and hoping to speak to you more as we go in the community. But yeah. So for the rest of us, it has been an amazing time. Thank you for everyone who joined, for everyone who's watching. I appreciate your time. Even if just 30 minutes that you took from your time is really valuable to me, valuable to the community. If you have any questions, you can always put it in the comment section or you can put it in the community. We are open to answering any questions. And this topic we're going to be talking about throughout the entire week. So we have another speaker for Wednesday and another for Friday. So don't be a stranger. Uh, let's enjoy the insights that we're getting and let's apply them as at when due. Until Wednesday, when I see you again, let's all have a wonderful week. Bye, guys. Bye for now. And
Bye.
Mohammed, thank you
Bye.
very much.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Bye.